All right, let's get this show on the road. All right, some business items. Rotary Social tonight for those who can be there. Wait, I thought you were going to be in Florida.
I am. I'm leaving as soon as this.
Oh,
on an airplane, so,
well, you're leaving this weather
Keys to the club.
yeah.
at Crush Wine. So go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, so, I understand you're gonna get there at 4.
No, 5.
5, okay, they open at 4, so, I don't know who's tending bar tonight. I could look, I guess, but, you guys will have a good time. There's gonna be a couple of other crowds in there too. So, it'll be lively.
Yeah.
Be patient with my bartenders, tip them well. Actually, I'll do this. Anybody going there tonight?
Well, I will. But
Okay, so, tell the bartender, first round's on me. You just have to tip her, okay?
Wow.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
Right.
I wish I could be there. I got work. Or pretend to work anyway.
All right. So yeah, that's at Crush Wine. Just a holiday season social for those who can make it. I have a meeting till 5, so I probably won't get there to 5:30, and then I've got to attend another board meeting tonight at 6:45. So I'll be there for a little while. But I'm not just the treasurer here. I'm the treasurer of a homeowners association as well. So get all kinds of budgets. Yeah, and I deal with a little bit of money during the day as well. So all right, Midnight Magic Parade was another success. Jerry, thanks for taking that on and doing organization. Any quick thoughts?
The foundation was laid last year when
Yeah.
Diana.
Don't say foundation today because that means
Yeah,
something
that's a
else.
different word.
Yeah.
That would cost you. But last year, John Miners and Diane really jumped into it, and they laid out all the signs and everything, so we put everything together and had lots of volunteers, which that made it.
Yeah. Better than in the sleet at the high school trying to figure out how to line up the parade. So we have a pretty good system in place. So that means April will probably change it by next year, and we'll be and hopefully not. But yeah, positive feedback, good parade, and good rewarding experience to line up the parade because obviously a lot of people in the community enjoy that. Speaking of community, week from Friday is the McGuanago Community Choir Concert. This is something we're involved with this year. It's the first time it's going to be in the Performing Arts Center. Is that correct? Yes. John Anello, Kelly's better half or lesser half, is the director. We've been coordinating with him. Attendees have been encouraged to bring non-perishable goods. We're going to have, we have a Venmo account now, our club does. So there's a Venmo code on the actual program. And I plan on printing some out and have it up around the area where people can just do on their phone and say $10 Rotary Club and send. Hopefully people do that. The hope is to get at least a couple hundred, 400 there for the free concert with donations accepted. I kind of need to know, you could have to raise your hand right now, who's planning on being there? Because I just got a question from John last night. Do we want him to collect any canned goods or whatever people bring, or are we gonna be able to do that? I guess I would like to not be the only Rotarian there, starting at about 6:30. So if there's gonna be some of you, let me know if you're gonna be there. It's not gonna be a lot of no box office, there are no tickets, things like that. So just a matter of just keeping things coordinated. John's coordinating everything with regards to sound and lights and all that stuff. So it's just to help coordinate it, make sure it goes, and I don't know, maybe we'll have a donation bucket or two. I've kind of decided against the 50-50 raffle for this one. We'll see how tonight goes, and maybe next year if we're involved, we'll do that. So anyway, any questions about that? So it's pretty good. Good, looking low key, right 5 days before Christmas, get the Christmas weekend started. Tri-Con is coming up. That's the 3-district conference that's going to be taking place on April 24th and 25th. Friday and Saturday, I think those are the right dates.
25th, 26th.
25th, 26th. Yeah, I've got somebody here who knows better than me. 25th, 26th, Friday and Saturday. It's been in Dells and Green Bay the previous 2 years. It's going to be in Brookfield. So our board's going to take up a topic of whether the club will be subsidizing some of the registration costs and such. Nobody should have to stay overnight unless you wanted to at the Brookfield Conference Center. So if you've ever thought about going to a district conference or a tri-con and you haven't been to one since our district conference in 2012 or whenever that was, this would be the time to go, even if you show up, during the day on Saturday and attend some of the breakouts. So more to come on that. Registration is now open, but certainly registration is going to be ongoing through April. Board meeting next Wednesday at 5:30 here, a week early, because following Wednesday, of course, is Christmas Eve in that. Something that has been in the works and we need to get the word out more is the January 7th Vin Baker event at Brookfield. Do you want to give a Brook Life Church? You want to give a quick update, Ken?
Right now, we need to reach out to get as many people aware that we are having an event. And I'm also going to call all the recovery groups in Waukesha County. We have already passed out information to all the Rotary clubs in Waukesha County, and they are have also received information where they can. It's a countywide appeal, but as Mukwonago Rotary Club, we need about would like to have 8 or 10 people there to volunteer to come and kind of greet people at Brook Life Church at 6 o'clock on Tuesday, January 7th.
Yeah, I'm gonna create a sign up genius to have people, so we gotta know who might be there. I should be able to be there. So we'll hopefully get more people to do that and get the word out. And I'm gonna look through the flyers and such that you've sent me and see what we can put out on Facebook and create an event there and help. John McGivern tickets are ongoing. We're up to the point where we're well into fundraising right now, covered the cost. So got about 1,000 more tickets we could sell. So it's great so far, but between now and February 22nd, we have a lot more tickets to sell. But every so often, and most of the tickets that have been selling recently have been outside the Mukwonago area, Mequon, Pewaukee, Economawalk. So people are traveling to see this, and I need to get the word out to different Rotary clubs as well. Let them know about the show and the fact that we are putting it on, and because he's obviously not performing in every community around Milwaukee or around Milwaukee suburbs. So that's coming up. Okay. Next week we have Educator of the Month, Eagleville Charter School. No meeting the day after Christmas, so take the week off there. And January 2nd, we're planning on having a New Year's meeting. If our newest members, and we're going to be talking about our newest applicant, Jason, gave application last week. The board will be taking that up next Wednesday, but I don't know if you're able to be here January 2nd. You don't have to be, but if you are, then that would be a good time just to do a few minute, what do they call it? Classification briefing or something like that? Yeah, something like that, about yourself and what you do on a daily basis, things like that. So no meeting December 26th and January 2nd. I was at Burlington's meeting on Monday, their board meeting, and they're an assistant governor and they're one of my clubs. Yeah, they're not meeting 2 weeks, two Mondays, they're not. So we're not gonna do that. We're gonna meet. We can't go 2 weeks without a meeting. And then there. So happy finds, Jerry, before we get to our speaker.
Well, I think Tom's gonna.
Oh,
today.
you got a substitute. All right. He'll take the money like everybody else. Everybody. Unhappy finds.
I'm happy to finish my part.
Oh, you did that.
I could pay for that.
Yeah.
I will later.
Yeah, for your fines work. Thank you.
That's great.
Yeah, I forgot my pen too.
Oh, boy.
Anybody else? Yep.
You lost one, Tom.
Everybody.
Jerry and I are celebrating 48 years of blissful marriage.
48.
Wow. How many years have you been married? Are you and Terry celebrating equally, or you got more?
I put some stuff on the table. One of the things that I get to do when going around doing presentations and club visits is I pass the word. So if you guys have something that you want me to pass on, the Whitnall Park Rotary Club is doing their first annual sheep's head tournament in February. I think, yeah, February 1st. So if you guys play sheep's head, there's a tournament coming up. It's there.
Is that a game?
Yeah.
That's a card game?
They're looking for a new fundraiser, so.
I'm glad it wasn't like a Godfather thing in horse heads.
We get you to pull a winning number. Can I do mine?
Yeah,
Sure.
958. Oh, wait.
You won't correct it though.
It's the last.
Oh,
The other side.
955. Oh,
All right.
early. That was close.
All right, anything else? Anybody like to bring up before we bring our speaker up? Yes, Rachel.
The village is January 23rd.
Yes.
Thursday at the library, so we'll be getting out some
Yeah.
flyers soon, stuff's working on those, but just mark your calendar.
And Rachel is on top of setting meetings and such, and I think the rest of us completely forgot about it. I think she was on
we did.
the
We've
call.
done this- we've done this a couple times.
Everybody, I think everybody else forgot about the meeting. Maybe not everybody.
Actually, I was, during the meeting, I was getting everything.
So anyway, we'll get that. But yeah, we've had success in the past and Rachel's done a great job organizing that. So certainly we'll start bringing that together. All right, so Rotary is service above self, and certainly Rob exemplifies that significantly. I mean, he spends a lot of time traveling to clubs. Obviously, we know we know what his salary is, same as our salary in Rotary. And he's here this morning to give us an update and go through some slides and stuff. So Jerry, you have a introduction?
Yes, I do. Easy to introduce somebody who knows everybody in the district. Rob Bassett's been with Mitchell Club 48 years and has held a lot of positions.
What?
40
38.
38. Oh,
Rick's been married for
Oh,
40.
okay, 38. Sorry. I can't subtract, but anyway.
I'm feeling real old now.
Since 1986, anyway.
No wonder I look like that.
He was the first water coordinator. He's been a director at large for the small clubs and on the membership committee at the district level, chairs PolioPlus, and now the foundation and polio are together, and Rob's gonna show us a few things about that. Rob and his wife Ann are members of a number of societies that are within Rotary and supporting the foundation. Retired from a 27-year career at airport restaurant business and airline catering, food service, and likes to play golf and travel and photography and so forth. Baseball, he like visiting baseball stadiums.
We're a little behind and keep building them faster than we can visit.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, one other thing, I haven't played sheep's head in about 10 years at least.
Wanna go?
I don't know, maybe I have to learn how to play again. But there's a card game we haven't heard before. Anyway, Rob, take it over.
Thanks, Jerry. One of the other handouts that I gave you is it's a list that I kind of covered briefly during the presentation, but the 7 areas of focus of the Rotary Foundation, programs of scale, which we mentioned, somebody asked at one of the other clubs. So in fact, you guys get leftovers from the Waukesha Club, I think. But they ask about programs of scale, so I listed them, and then somebody asked about Rotary Peace Center. So we're doing this. This is a new thing this year. There's 3 of us have divided up the district, and we're doing a foundation / polio presentation, and we're trying to make this part of the new member orientation. Last night we did a new member orientation for people that have joined Rotary in the last year, and it went over pretty well. And the next section is going to be on the Rotary Foundation. So I have my introduction. It's nice to be back and see everybody. Question before I get started: how many people joined Rotary to make a difference in your community? Cool. How many for networking opportunities? How many for the fellowship and friendships of meetings? How many because the Sal de Mexico makes a better breakfast than you can at home? Okay, how many were told to join? I was told to join when I moved up here. I was running the restaurant. I was running the restaurant at the airport, and the Rotary Club of Mitchell Field met at the airport, and one of the members came up to me and punched me in the arm and said, "You're going to be a Rotarian." And I said, "I don't even know where all the bathrooms are yet. You know, give me a little while." And 2 months later, I was inducted in the Mitchell Field Club, 1986, and I'm finishing up my 48th or 38th year. See, you got me doing it. You got me doing it. How many joined to make a difference in the lives of people that you'll probably never see in a part of the world that you may never visit? Okay, and how many joined because this morning you enjoyed watching the ice form on your coffee on the way here because your car wasn't going to warm up? You know? The Rotary Foundation can help you with many of these things, especially, you know, not the coffee part, but the making a difference in the community, making a difference in the world. The Rotary Foundation is the engine that drives the good work of what Rotarians do. You guys are all working on committees, you do fundraisers, you do service projects and stuff. Rotary Foundation is where we get the support and the finances to do what we want. Now, right click, right? Okay. Purpose of the foundation, purpose of the presentation is to just let you know about the foundation. Rotary Foundation is a nonprofit that is the fundraising and philanthropic arm of Rotary International. You guys contribute through the foundation to the projects that Rotary International and Rotary people, Rotarians all over the world do. The mission of the foundation, it was started in 1917. Arch Klump was the president of Rotary at the time. They had a convention, and he said, we need to have something that's a ongoing way to make, you know, what we do as Rotarians a continuous, viable effort. So they ask they set up a Rotary Foundation. Basically, it was, you know, this was going to be our tool. The Kansas City Rotary Club had $26.50, and that was the first contribution that was made to the Rotary Foundation. Now we're worth considerably more than that. The money that we take in through the foundation is spent on sustainable grants, programs, services that support the members' work that we do. We're rated number one in Charity Navigator. It's a 4-star rating. We've been getting 4 stars, 100% rating with Charity Navigator for 16 years. This says 17, but I'm kind of presenting, you know, for next year. 88% of Rotary's funds are put into programs. So when you don't donate to the Rotary Foundation, you're donating, and very little of your money is being used for fundraising and fundraising and administrative costs. Okay. Now I got a video, but I don't know if I can. I don't know what we can skip it if oh yeah, there. Okay. Can't do the video with this. This just came out a couple weeks ago. Can everybody see it all right? Yes. Oh,
Did you click something?
I clicked something. Sorry. What did I click? Oh.
All right, hold on.
think I can just click,
Yeah,
right?
there you go.
Okay. Rotary has 7 areas of focus, promoting peace, fighting disease, providing clean water and sanitation. You guys are lucky because I don't think ever before has the two of us been in the same room that were water and sanitation or water gurus. So we have all the knowledge on water you ever need. Saving mothers and children, a lot of this is health related, supporting education. You do projects with kids, growing the local economies, helping people with microloans. Protecting the environment is the latest one. If you haven't done it, pollinator garden is a wonderful way to get started. A lot of the clubs are doing that through their district grant projects. District grants are probably the thing you're most familiar with for the way the money comes back to the clubs. The global grants, have you guys done a global grant? Have you participated? You know, I mean, if our club is too small to do it ourselves. So we participate heavily with the Racine Club does a lot of stuff in Belize the last 4 or 5 years. Downtown and Elmbrook Club are doing Guatemala. So we are supporters of that. Disaster response grants, the big one, of course, that we noted recently was the Ukraine situation. When Russia invaded Ukraine, our district did 3 or 4 district disaster grants projects. Programs of scale, I passed out the 4 years worth of programs of scale. They are looking for another program of scale. And basically what the program of scale is, it's like a super global grant. If the downtown club had an opportunity to take one of their small villages and do something even grander on a whole city or a regional or a countrywide, that might qualify for programs of scale. They are probably not ever going to have another huge program like PolioPlus. But programs of scale at $2 million a year are making a difference in a lot of people's lives. The one that you're all familiar with is PolioPlus, because I get to wear, one of the nice things about being a PolioPlus chair is you really don't have to worry about your wardrobe. When I was working at the airport, I had, okay, what tie do I wear today? What do I, now I just get up and put on my t-shirt. When it's cold, I get a matching sweatshirt. It's pretty simple. I'm a Michigan State fan, so the red is killing me, but it's Wisconsin, so people think, oh, he's really fitting in. We've got other stuff that the grants help with, the Rotary Peace Fellowships, vocational training teams. Some of you guys have been around long enough. You remember the old group study exchange. Vocational training team is a kind of similar to that. The most recent one I'm familiar with, they sent one down to Belize. They went down several years, 4 or 5 years back, I guess, just pre-COVID. They went to see what this club needed. What this area, Southern Belize, and the Racine Club sent an exploratory group down there. They said, well, we could use help with this hospital. And then they started, doing stuff, building a hospital, and they put a waiting area in because they didn't have any waiting area. They got them some used equipment. And then they said, well, while we're down here, they looked and said, you guys need help with like firefighting. And so they've been putting together some firefighting stuff. They sent a VTT team down that was firefighters from 3 or 4 communities and helped upgrade the training for the EMS people and the firefighters, and Rotary District paid for that. Rotary Action Group and fellowships. I'm a member of the Water and Sanitation Rotary Action Group, and the Environmental Rotary Action Group. There's fellowships if whatever you're interested in. If you're a golfer, if you're a beer drinker, if you're a biker, if you're a bird watcher, if you're a camera guy. They had fellowships. I think there's like 135 fellowships, and it's a chance to share your passion in something, with other Rotarians. There's anybody know John Henderson from Elkhorn? John's a member of, I think, a charter member, and probably the world's most well-traveled member of the fellowship that's traveling Rotarians. And he goes out and he visits countries all over and visits Rotarians. Rotary Peace Center programs, I gave you a list of the Peace Centers. They're running a workshop or another conference in Turkey in April, I think. And the latest Peace Center is going to open in Turkey. The district grants or the grants that came from Rotary last year, grants to 485 districts. They call them district grants, but basically it's a grant to the district. And then we make what we know as the district grants. $30 million was returned to the districts that they had donated to the Rotary Foundation 3 years ago. They did $82 million in global grants. That's a ton of money. 105 disaster response grants. Some of them were small, some of them, were big. There was an earthquake in Turkey, I think 2 years ago. They're still working on disaster response grants to that one. And then the program of scale grant is an agricultural project in India that had been a global grant in an agricultural area that they're doing similar to what we're having in the grain belt here. They're sucking so much water out of the water table with their irrigation to keep the grain growing that they're finding out that they're going to run out of water. So they're trying to do a sustainability project that will allow them not only to grow all the grain that they need for that area, but to help replenish the water table too. When that one's done, it's going to be real interesting because that's got a lot of implications that can help other countries, including ours. One of the things that is cool about the Rotary Foundation is the alliances. Probably the one that I'm most familiar with and that I brag about is the Global Polio Eradication Initiative. Started in 1988 when we were getting into the PolioPlus thing, and we partnered with the World Health Organization, UNICEF, the Center for Disease Control, Gavi, which is a immunization group, and in 1992, 2007, I guess, Bill and Melinda Gates came on with a challenge to the Rotary Foundation saying, if you can raise X number of dollars, we'll match it. We had 18 months to do it in. I think we did it in about 12 months. And ever since they've been impressed with us, they give us $100 million a year to fight polio. All we have to do is raise the first 50. So every dollar somebody gives to polio turns into $3, which coincidentally is how much it costs to immunize a kid and make him safe for life. So when you give $1 to polio, you're immunizing and making a kid safe. We got a couple local groups that people have probably dealt with. Shelter Box. You guys done anything with Shelter Box? That started as a Rotary project with a club in England. Now it's an independent organization that Rotary supports. And the Guatemala Medical Relief Project that started in the Ozaki County clubs put that together, and they spun off on their own, and we're still supporting that. They do dental and optical visits down to Guatemala. And the big one, of course, is polio. And now I get to talk about what I like to talk about. Polio, the first project that attacked polio was back in the day, in the late 70s. They had a thing called the 3H Health, Hunger, and Humanity grant. It's a precursor to the district grant. The first one was done by a club in the Philippines. They said, we want to eliminate polio. The US can do it. If the big country over there can do it, why can't we do it in our community? They did it in the community. The district said, well, if you guys can do it, why can't the rest of the clubs in the district do it? They rolled it out through the district, and then all of a sudden the country said, well, that worked really well. Let's do it in the country. When it worked in the country, and Rotary said, well, we can do this. 1985, they promised the kids of the world that we would eliminate polio, and they wouldn't have to worry about that. And for those, how many were here, members back in 85, 86, 87, when all that started? I joined in 1986, and they had just announced the polio program. And the goal was we were going to raise $250 million. And by 2020 or 2005, the annual or the anniversary of Rotary International, we were going to eliminate polio. And I think the $250 million came from the fact that it cost X number of dollars to vaccinate a kid. And they said, okay, this is how many kids there are in the world, so that's what it's going to cost. That was in 1985 and by 1988, when we started the GPEI, we realized that it was more than just going in and putting drops. You had to put together a system, you know, it's a cold chain. So they had to do that. It got a little more intense, and I think we're at like $1.4 billion, but we're getting real close. If you remember in the video, the red dots on the nations, we're down to 2. We have 81 cases in Afghanistan and Pakistan. And it's a lot of it is because they're hard to find the kids now. I learned the other day at a meeting that the Pakistanis are now, after taking in Afghan refugees during the war with the United States and everything, after we left in 2021, they said, you know, we want these people to go home. You know, we can't support, you know, go back to Afghanistan. Well, now when you knock on doors to do vaccinations for kids, the doors aren't opening like they used to, because the same guy or the same knock, when you knock on a door and say, I'm here to do polio, is the same sound as it says, I'm here to send you back to Afghanistan. So a lot of cases, a lot of places, they found out that the friendship and the open door policy is not there anymore because they're sending people home. So they're trying to come up with, you know, a way to do that. They're vaccinating a lot of people and they're making a difference, but the cases are up this year, and that's not real featured. Bill and Melinda Gates in, I guess it was 2009, did the promise that they would pledge, to match our first $50 million. The 2 kinds of vaccines that are happening, the one, has anybody here done an NID where you've gone out in another country? We've got a couple people that in the district, a lot of people in the district have done it. I think Rick, Pete, no, who was it? Just came back. Oh, Jeff Reed just came back from India a year ago, and he'd done it. He said that it's probably one of the most touching things you can do. We've got the oral vaccine that we're using there, and then what they used in the United States that eliminated it was the shots. The reason we use oral vaccine is because it's a whole lot easier to do, you know, a lot of kids. I can't imagine going out and giving shots to kids, but the oral vaccine works really well. The inactive polio vaccine, you know, they're trying to get into that, which is the shots in areas where they've had some sort of issues with the oral vaccine. The oral vaccine, up until about 18 months ago, was not highly mutatable, but it had a propensity to mutate if you didn't get in and give the 3 doses that you're supposed to give to kids. And areas that have eliminated polio and been declared polio free, some of the Middle Eastern countries, Africa, where they have some conflicts, if you can't get in there and do all of the vaccines and it gets in the water as a mutate, 5 minutes, okay, I can do that. Then you know, so they came up with a new vaccine that mutates less. We're down to 255 cases through November 27th in those 41 countries, down from 588 2 years ago and 358 I think last year. So the cases are tracking down, so the new vaccine is working. Techniques and challenges, mass immunizations, the challenge of the conflict zones. There's people find it hard to believe that even after the effectiveness of polio vaccine for 50, 60, 70 years, I still don't believe that it's working. So that's a problem that we have. Reasons I'm optimistic, we're 99.99% gone with polio. We've eliminated, you know, gone from 350,000 cases to, even if bad as 81, we're down to 81 cases a year. That's a whole lot better. The success of the vaccine is good, and we got the strong partnerships that we're working with the GPEI. My biggest deal out of this is when we are done with polio in 2 or 3 years, however long it takes, we will have left a healthcare system in the in the world that's equal to spots in the United States. There were countries that when COVID hit, they already had their cold chain because they've been doing polio. We didn't have that. We had to reinvent a cold chain. There's countries that Ebola doesn't exist anymore because they're testing for the water for polio and they find Ebola and they eliminate it. The healthcare system is in the global situation is gonna be so much better, because we did polio. And here's some quick ways to give to the Rotary Foundation. You can give once a month. You can give quarterly, you can give through your estate. You guys build members, or does every member contribute?
We encourage them to go to rotary.org and.
Okay,
and sign
I
up there.
discovered that even though it costs money for the transaction online, they would rather have people go to rotary.org, sign up for Rotary Direct than send them checks, because there's less chance of making mistakes and nobody ever lost an online contribution. So if you please, consider Rotary Direct, consider every Rotarian every year, sign up and say, take it out the beginning of the month. The big hit here, you do not have to be a Rotarian to contribute to the Rotary Foundation. That's kind of frightening that people, I've heard people thought, I'm not a Rotarian, I can't contribute. I'm tired of doing PolioPlus money on the backs of Rotarians. I would like to see every club do a fundraiser, raise $3,000 from the community, let them know that, polio is still out there, and get their money and help us. Reasons for giving, there's all sorts of stuff. Paul Harris Fellowships, you can get recognition at every $1,000 level until you get to be 10,000, then you get to be a major donor. Anybody here got 250,000 that they can throw at the Arch Clump Society? They'll let you do that. The PolioPlus Society, if you haven't joined, you pledge $100 a year, you get this snazzy little blue pin with a couple of drops of polio vaccination going into a kid's mouth. Paul Harris Society, $100 or $1,000 a year. Benefactor, you say, I'm gonna die, I know I'm gonna die, I'll give $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation. Easy to do. If you have a will, you can say Bequest Society, I'll give $10,000 to the Rotary Foundation. If you have $1 million floating around, you can leave $1 million to the Rotary Foundation. We have one member in our district that's a legacy society. If you have $25,000 and you want to make a difference, you can donate to the endowment fund, and you can tell them what area of focus you want your money to go for. You select where your money goes. It's one of the few charities that I support where I can say, here's $100, I want it to go to polio. Here, and it goes directly to polio. Here's $100, I want it to go to environmental area. If everybody does that, you can cover that. Many ways to give. Every Rotarian every year, PolioPlus Society, I talked about all of these. You support projects. You're not just sending your money to some place where it's gonna, sit there and when something happens, they respond to it. I mean, that's good. I mean, it's nice to be able to support the organizations like that, but you can support through the Rotary Foundation the work of your fellow Rotarians. Any questions? I'm out of time and I'm probably late, huh? Oh, I'm late. Any questions? Anybody? Yeah.
I just want to add that in polio has brought other vaccines, diphtheria, tetanus, typhoid, all the other vaccines to the world.
Yeah, and that's part of our legacy. I mean, we have enhanced the medical world, really. We've helped a lot. So thank you.
All right.
Any other questions?
Yeah, the Guatemalan relief thing.
Yeah.
What club is spearheading that?
It started, I think, with the Mequon Thiesville. There's
Morning Club?
Yeah, Morning Club. And now it's spun off on its own, and it's got they got their own organization and stuff.
Do you remember who the contact is? Would you shoot me an email on that?
I'll see if I can find. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem.
And I don't know if I don't think it's even listed anywhere on our
No.
district website, but I know they're still doing it because I get information on that. Well, thank you all.
Great.
Thank you, Ken. Oh, second.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for coming in today on a cool day like this. Anyway, in gratitude for coming, talking to us, the Quantico Rotary Club will be donating funds to inoculate 25 children for polio.
Cool. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Good seeing you again.
Yeah. I just got a call yesterday. I'm looking at going to Guatemala when I can, and I got a call from Jerry Stepaniak, who is coordinating, and he says, yeah, we're opening February 22nd. They're leaving. Like, took me a couple hours to realize I'm gonna be busy on February 22nd. We got 2 John McGivern shows. And I probably should be here for that. Yeah, so it's great to hear about things happening outside of McGuanago. We focus most every week on McGuanago. The district conference is a way to really open up and have speakers there. Certainly the district conference, and then of course the international, which we have some coming to the region in the coming years.
If I could, because there's no foundation dinner at the Tricon this year, we're doing a fundraiser Thursday night at BJ's Restaurant on Blue Mountain. If you're interested, we will be sending out, once the thing is formalized, we'll be sending out the flyers. You just go up and, meet fellow Rotarians and get 20% of the non-alcoholic and food.
That's
donated.
the night before the.
It's the night before, yeah, because a lot of people are coming into town, but we didn't have an event for them, so we're gonna do a fundraiser.
All right, remember, social tonight and the concert next Friday. If you're going to the concert, just come up to me real quick and let me know next Friday, just so we can coordinate a little bit. Other than that, if nothing else, if Rotarians stand as we leave this meeting, go back out into the world of life and work. Of the things we think, say, and do, let us remember to ask ourselves first, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Or is it really beneficial to all concerned?
Is it fun?
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
If you guys have a flyer or something, give it to us.